Live, 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 live. And you're going to hear a loud pop because I'm a moron. Pop, pop to start the show. Professionals right there. Woo. Just in time. Wow. So welcome to the live show.
Layla's guitar daddy in the house. I'll pop out the chat so we can both see it.
All right.
It's a little bit of a crazy night here.
We're the masters of... We finished the first thing we were doing at 8:03.
Is that what time we did?
Yeah, because I looked down going, hey, what else are we going to do? And
Yeah.
then we started talking
we
about...
did some planning.
Well, yeah, it
Planning.
was still working.
Constructive time.
We're still trying to think about how you do a series of like 20 different pedals.
Right, yeah.
And
how do you release those? How do you get the
right.
ones that people send to you out early?
The
and
order
then-
of it, how do you get a background video shot about the topic? Working on a celebrity appearance that may or may not happen.
Right. So, probably won't.
But Layla's guitar, Danny. You said you'd be here. You're a man of your word. I think the theme on what I'm playing tonight is nothing that is newer than the 80s. I've got Jason's DM2, Boss DM2 delay, my TS808, and a new purchase, a Noble's stereo chorus. That is pretty wild.
Yeah. We haven't really checked it out yet.
No, I
but
plugged it in for about a minute after church was over. It's really lush. I mean, it's... Probably, yeah. We came close to that when we were with the Guitar Hack. Talked about what was
Right.
on our board. But no, yeah, I think we should. We've talked about that. Take a couple cameras out there and do our own, we don't want to call it rig rundown, but maybe look what they're using, I think is our version of a rig, and they is us.
yeah.
Go out and just kind of talk about our own boards and maybe play.
I'm kind of waiting for a pedal. Believe it or not. It's like, really? There's the pedal that's in the one drive spot. So there's two drive spots. I'm never happy with that second drive spot. And I kind of been waiting, like, I don't want to do the rig.
It's truly a transparent overdrive. It's not on.
Right. Until I know what goes in that one spot. When I figure out what goes in that one spot, then I'd be totally down with taking some cameras over there, trying to mic up the amp. That would be something new for us, too. As far as how do you... We have these little Tascam portable recorder things, which I think would work real well. We tried to use one at Mike's house, and I totally... It didn't work.
Yeah, we have to do a little experimenting, right?
Right.
Because we'd like to play through our live amps there and in the room, and
So we could mic the amp with that.
Mm-hmm.
We could just put a cable in, mic the amp. Or we could plug that into the board and record off the board. So if we recorded off the board, for vocal mics, we could just use the mics at the church and talk into those. But I'm not sure how that tracks.
right.
I don't know. We got to figure that sound thing out. But yeah, that's definitely something that we want to... And maybe like a broader too, like here's what the stage looks like.
Stick a
There's
mic,
nothing super...
Stick a mic out in the auditorium.
There's not a whole lot super special, but it would be cool to have Gary and Jason come over and... Gary, the drummer, and Jason, the bass player, if you want to get in a good jam, those two guys as a rhythm section would be good.
I'm listening, but
Then we could do like a jam with actually like having a rhythm section. Cool.
You have to look up more about this Nobles. I love, there's 4 modes, and I love 1 and 2.
Hey, Brody.
Hi, Brody.
You know, Brody, that's all right because I don't know how long we're staying the night either. I know because there's another.
Couple chats.
It seems like everybody's having a live show tonight all of a sudden for some reason, which is cool. You know, I mean, it's not a competition. So I think Guitar Hack.
Yep.
Has somebody ought to pop over to his channel real quick and just tell him that we're over here and
Hey, everybody.
Pat's wearing his shirt. That's my wife. Everybody say hello to my wife.
Hello, my wife. She gets to hear loud noises emanating from this place every Tuesday night for about 4 hours.
Yeah.
Yes, he does. He has a magical one right there. That PRS McCarty hollow body with the piezo is fabulous.
Yeah.
Makes me envious. I've got a hollow body single cut, but it ain't got a piezo. That one right there.
So
It is magical. We did plug it into the church one time. Wide it out to a direct box, went straight into the board.
which was cool because with a flip of a switch, then I could play the way that guitar is set up. There's a little 3-way toggle. In the up position, it's just the piezo with its own volume knob. Middle position is the piezo and the electric.
Yeah.
And then if you have it down, it's just electric. And you have stereo out. Not stereo outs, but you have two outs. You have a piezo out, and you have a. So you run two cables out. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, it's mono.
What he said.
Oh my gosh, I can't.
It is really nice.
If it wasn't feather light, you can't even just tell by the way I'm holding it.
Of all the guitars I have guitar envy in this house, that's the one right there.
So, volume knob, tone knob, piezo, regular back both or front, and then just the electric pickups, the humbuckers and piezo, just piezo. And that's only if you're running out of here. So down here you have a out for piezo and a mixed magnetic.
And I think you can split the coil too, right? You can split coils on the electric. You can split coils on the magnetic pickups.
No, you can't split the coils. There's no push pull.
Oh, maybe you flipped that. You flipped that really loud. It sounded like the sound of a push pull.
Yeah.
I would have failed that blindfold test.
What you can do if you're just running out, so it says mixed magnetic. If you're just running one cable out, you can still go piezo both or
With a special cable.
no.
No.
But no, because it's still piezo both or just magnetic. But once you put this, then you're sending it to a different source.
Brody's at a Honda dealer buying his wonderful daughter a car, and he was in Germany and he answered my question from Germany. He was probably up in the middle of the night. So it's off camera. I don't know if I want to pick it up because it's all patched together. But I was saying, Brody, at the top of the show here, that I have my vintage Tube Screamer, his vintage Boss DM2, and then I just got a Nobles stereo chorus that I think the Nobles Overdrive is all the rage in Nashville, or was at one point. I'm sure it's very much like the Tube Screamer, but it's in the same family, and it's Prince approved. Probably Andy Summers too. It's really nice. I can only imagine what the overdrive's like. So,
Have you played a PRS SEEG?
I have not. I've played an EG that I keep talking about. Brody was involved. I have an original EG. I have not played. I know somebody who has one. Mark, who borrowed my black PRS. I do not. I have an original that has Lindy Fralin pickups in it. That's being worked on right now from Chris California.
I think really anything with the PRS tag on it is going to be pretty
Yeah,
good.
I mean, a couple of the SEs I've played probably just one or two probably weren't really set up right, but I played a couple of the other ones that even my own snobbery of the now called Core line.
And I was watching a video on the hollow body. I was going,
yeah.
wow. All right, so moving along. let's so we're talking about new pedals. That's a new pedal for us, right?
Yeah.
So the Stereo Chorus by Nobles, that was new. That was a bargain bin kind of find. Much great. We've decided not to ever talk money anymore, but much better price than what we saw some other places.
Yeah. I mean, we're kind of like we want to try different things out, and so if we see something, and you've got your barometer, right? You could be in a store and pull up Reverb and sort any way you want, and be like, "That's a good deal."
Right.
And
so
that was a good deal.
Obviously, not making money doing this.
Right. We're doing the opposite currently.
Right. Sinking.
One of us a lot more than the other.
But if we can find things at a reasonable price that we can then sell them and I don't want to say make a profit, but if we can sell them where we're still giving like one of the better deals on Reverb.
Yes.
That's
because we
can keep rolling that into what we're doing.
It's the equivalent of gig money for this, right? Like
it's kind of like trading up.
Yes, bigger, better, more.
So we got a package this week. This package came from Dubai.
Yeah, I was like, wait, what?
Dubai?
I thought it was keys to like a Rolls Royce, but no.
Right, and so Nuix.
That's me.
Sent us. We did the Leslie thing, right? We asked them, can you send us a pedal for the Leslie series? They said, sure. So I guess we should start with that, right? So they sent us this. This came in the mail. It is the Roctory, Rotary, and Polyoctave pedal.
Just choked up about it.
I am. I'm burping on live internet TV. Sorry,
Wayne's World.
So pretty cool in that you have a rotary pedal with the fast and the slow switch, the on and off switch. You can do. It has some drive features level. You can set your fast and slow. You can set your horn and your bass and your horn and your balance, which is weird because bass, horn, and then balance. I would have thought they were the same thing, so we'll have to look in to figure out what that is. But then it has an added feature that nobody else has that we've seen on a Leslie pedal, and that's this little switch here that does the octave on, and then you have a +1 and a -1 octave. So you can put a little low in or put a little high in. I'm thinking not your octave like you'd have on an octave fuzz or an octaver, but that like smooth, more like subbing up, or what's the big one that everybody in the praise and worship?
Yeah, that's small. Dan Pratt had one. The sub up or
it's
sub
not
up
the
or,
sub. That's the TC.
Oh,
TC is the sub
the POG.
The POG. Yes, the POG.
Well, I was pointing back there because we have OC2. We both have an OC2. One of us back there.
Yes. So that's cool. We're looking forward to getting into that for
yeah,
sure.
like we'll send you something else. And I know you talked about this. I think you held it up, right? I was playing with my phone. But it was kind of cool. It was like a bonus pedal. They said, "Oh, we'll send you something else." We're like, "Okay." So we opened it up, and it's an IR.
us IR neophytes, or what is the...
Right. I'm curious though.
We had to look it up. We had no idea what it was.
I'm curious because we.
I don't know if you can see that.
I think on the side it says what they are, right?
So
the side of the pedal.
So this is the Mini Studio.
Mm-hmm.
You have a level and a spice knob. Spice.
I dialed it up to Sporty Spice.
And then you have an 8 rotary clicker here, and then so on the side it says a JZ 120, which is like your Roland Jazz, I would think. A DR 112 deluxe reverb, a BS 410. Bassman 410?
No, probably, yeah.
Maybe.
What else makes a 410 that you play through?
An A212. A TR212, a 1960, a GB412, and a V412.
Yeah, the
V412 was probably the box.
Yeah.
Maybe? I don't know. So, yeah.
It'll be interesting at some point to try it out, because the only other thing we did, I keep turning it around, sorry, whatever it was called.
It was the Behringer.
It was a Behringer tube. It was really a tube amp modeler, more or less, that we kind of plugged direct. But this will be interesting, because I'm kind of interested in the whole speaker clone.
So yeah, you said it's an amp sim or a cab sim, and I'm not like really. I'll tell you this: as a USB port, it has a headphone jack. I think it's more of a IR.
Yeah.
Is that what the terminology they use?
Mm-hmm.
So it's supposed to be more of a speaker cabinet?
Yeah, so I think it is the cabs, which is probably why they're very specific about the 212, 412, 410. That I think it's more of the speaker emulator.
We're not 100% sure
But
yet.
we'll find out. It was nice.
Mini Studio speaker cabinet simulator and IR impulse response loader.
You can put your own in there.
Right.
So we don't know.
But it was cool of them to send it to us.
It really was. So
look for it on a Reverb store eventually.
first of all, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Once we figure out, you don't know
right
what it
next
is.
to the Behringer.
Right. No, we'll do our best to figure it out. Put out a decent episode. That was, I mean, we're kind of blown away that Nuix sent us stuff. And then other good news, another news, we heard from the final company.
We did.
That we've been kind of, you know how you don't want to say the name of a company until you know for sure. So we have one more Leslie simulator coming. We'll keep it at that. We have one more Leslie simulator coming, and that's coming from Neo Instruments in Germany. And so that should ship tomorrow.
Brody, can you bring that back next time you go?
That should ship tomorrow. That's the last one that's coming for free. I did find the Rototron, or the Pigtronics Rototron that I've been looking for. Because the interesting thing with them, they make the only Leslie, I think that's true 100% analog, no digital. So, and that was one that I kind of felt like we had to have. So we're only missing now like a couple.
We're only missing one that has the word Leslie on it.
Right. We can't get in touch with anybody at Hammond. Apparently, they don't care. So,
and I want to say they're pricey, but all these other ones are pricey too.
Right.
They're all, not all, but many of them, the 300 plus price tag.
So figure there's like 20. I think it's close to 20 now. Leslie pedals sitting down here. They're not all staying. So what I'm thinking is maybe we can bring in the Hammond one later after we pick a few that we want to.
Right.
We're not gonna. As much as I probably will love them all, I'm not going to have to. You're going to have to force me not to keep them.
Is that my job?
Yes.
I can still keep 4 tremolo pedals, though, right? And 900 drive pedals.
You're right.
As long as I keep all my stuff, I'll help you do it.
Well, I put 3 pedals up on the Reverb store so far, and 2 of them are gone.
Yeah.
So, like, we have a whole box of stuff over there we gotta get listed.
We do. Keep talking about having a listening party, but we haven't gotten that far.
In other news,
Yes.
so I said in the description, this week's trash or treasure find.
Oh, right. Where am I?
So somebody said to me, a non-musician. No, I shouldn't say that. A musician that's a non-guitar player.
That's true. So really a non-musician.
Said they had this sitting there and they didn't want it. I don't know if you can see it. Wait, you were supposed to lift it.
Well, I was going to, but you caught me when I was taking a drink.
So this, I don't want it. Take it, and we're gonna turn it off when we're done with this because you hear that?
I just like that you hold on your lap.
All right, so
Hopefully, you don't have any static charge in the facial foliage there.
it's super light. That is a Fender Music Master bass from like the 70s. It's silver face, so I'm thinking it's definitely 70s.
We have to play it, right? Yeah.
And it sounds, get this. It's been used and abused. It probably needs to go to an amp tech and be retubed. Maybe have a bigger speaker, something the bigger driver put in. But
Did you hit the right one?
I didn't turn the tube off. But
It's a lot of butts. Monkey butts. Are you sure?
right,
There you
I
go.
think we got it now. Here we go. I think I just drove it. So now I only have the volume on this, and single coils up a little bit because it will overdrive the preamps real quick.
And our mics are ready.
But if you turn it all the way up, everything just went red over there. Sorry.
Cool.
It starts to break up pretty nice. Is it still on?
It's all the way up.
Yeah, everything.
I turned
Everything
the
is
tone back a little bit.
pretty much died. Pat mentally cannot handle the tone all the way up.
I can't. It's like people who put salt on their food before they taste it. I go up to something, I turn the bass up, turn the track down. Well, because... Okay. No, I mean, I think that once it gets a speaker that can handle a little bit more of a low end load,
Right.
and maybe tubes. I hate to steal words that I don't really like, but it would be a pretty good pedal platform in the sense that it's got like just one tone and one volume. So you get that set somewhere neutral or the whole way. It's all your color is going to come from your pedal board.
I'll tell you, I mean, like the deluxe reverbs, when I go to the Blues Jam and play those, a lot of times, that's the old guys, man. Those old guys. They would do it with twins. Oh my gosh, can you imagine? But roll all the knobs. Mm-hmm. All the knobs 10. Volume tone, volume high. Well, on a deluxe reverb, would be volume high and mids. Roll them to 10 and just go. And then volume knob and tone knob on your guitar. Just dime everything and then do everything from here. So on something like this, I immediately am like, okay, just roll them all. And it works. But it is kind of counterintuitive because one of the things I hate about... One of the things I don't like about a Hot Rod Deluxe, the new reissue ones, is how kind of bright and brittle they can be. And so... I'll want to roll that high back a little bit. But if you roll it up to 10, it sounds better. Like, when you start to roll it back, I don't know. If you can roll it up to 10 and work your volume knob and your tone knobs on your guitar, you can get a better sound out of it, I think, than you get out of it if you just... And then I like to put like an overdrive pedal and attenuate it a little bit. And then you can pull tone on that.
Well, that's what I did. I played it briefly, and I put the tube screamer in front of it, and then just kind of shaped the tone a little bit with the tube screamer. It still can only handle so much with the speaker that's in there now. But yeah, it's... After all of the things we've done about inexpensive guitars and are they worth modding, well, let's see, you've got 0 into that. So.
Right.
and depending on what tubes and different things you look them up, they're $450, $800 depending on what tubes are in them.
And so for this to retube it, you're looking at like two 12AX, one AX7 and two EL84s, I think. That's not going to be very expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And you can get a nice speaker. And I've always wanted to try like one of those Canvas Rex speakers or something, so maybe something like that.
You're really going to feed into the Are You High if you keep saying
Fred ready. All right,
hey,
so we'll cut that one out.
Brian Landers just showed up. What's up, man? Hey, listen, when you got to go from party to party because you're a popular guy, we understand.
So he missed the amp.
I'll pick it up if I don't get electrocuted.
I turned it off.
But I'm just holding up. Music Master Bass-O-Matic bass amp that's used for Git Fiddle. Yeah, so we were talking about what we did tonight. We actually we didn't really talk about what we did tonight.
No,
I jumped right into other things. So what we did tonight was I can hold the two up that aren't plugged in. We had
the one he's using as a coaster.
I am. It's a new coaster, and I'll tell you why. So this is the Behringer TO800, and we did this again, and my original tube screamer's there, but it's plugged in. I don't feel like picking it up. We compared those two, and then on
another episode we did that one.
Yeah, and on a little Sunday adventure, not this Sunday, the Sunday before, little Facebook Marketplace, or no, actually it wasn't Facebook. It was actually Craigslist. No, we're not playing out yet. On Craigslist, picked up, I don't know where the third one is. Got 3 of the other ones from the Barrigan line. I'm like, I'm willing to try them all. They got this vintage delay, a digital delay, and a compressor for like $50, right? So, but when I looked at this one a little bit, people were like, oh, it's been compared to the DM2. Well, Jason's original DM2 is sitting right here next to my tube screamer. So tonight, it was really like, it wasn't a total dare to compare in the sense that we paired these two together, paired those two together, and did where...
We didn't even call it dare. Right?
No, we didn't. We called it just Gear Talk. Because what we did was put these together, and Jason dialed them up the way he would use them. And I dialed up the other ones the way we would use them, and we kind of played off of each other. And then we switched guitar cables, and I dialed this up the way I would use them, and he dialed up the vintage ones. And we weren't surprised about this because we've done it before with the 808. This one we didn't like so much. This one, you know what I mean? I didn't use this term in the video. This one is not very musical. Like, I think I said it sounded metallic?
Yeah.
It just
mechanical.
Mechanical. It was just very sterile. Like, I was joking and doing some really bad popping and locking that it had a job to do. I must repeat, you know. And I said the DM2 is like, yeah, man, I got to make this thing sound cool. So we decided that we really didn't like this. And it does actually, with its size and everything, it does make an excellent coaster. But I don't know. It may show up on our Reverb store, or maybe I'll just find some random passerby and just hand it to him. I don't know. It was one that, like, I think it was like really, other than one other pedal, I think it's the only pedal I've ever purchased that I was just completely disillusioned by. That I just couldn't find anything that I liked. I mean, Jason, well, to be fair, the DM2 doesn't have the spectrum range of delay times. I like a longer delay. So even the original DM2, great tonally, couldn't quite dial it up the way that I would use the delay for leads and things. But it was still a great pedal. You could tell it was a great pedal. This one was struggled with. So Jason's like, listen, if Jason's like, if I had to, I could take these to a gig and get it done. And I'm just like, I don't know, because when we did the dare to compare this against the original 808, a couple of the passes that we went round and round, some of my more inspired playing happened when I had this one engaged. This one just hosed up the sound so bad tonight that I
think there's too many options out there.
Yeah, that's a true story.
That
out there.
Right, like I would say and maybe that should be an episode. Maybe we should compare this to the Yellowfall.
Yeah.
Donner Yellowfall every day of the week before I would take this.
Yeah.
If you don't want to spend the money on a vintage DM2, you're lucky you don't have to.
Right. Because
the Wazacraft is out there and it's pretty darn good. And honestly, if the Wazacraft was out there when I bought the original DM2, I probably would have bought the Wazacraft because it would have saved a lot of money. So there's just too many options out there. You know, some of the Love Pedal stuff we've got and the Fox gear. Yeah, I think Behringer's knocking it out of the park in so many ways, but not
that one. I mean, at least not for me. This one, go buy one. You won't regret it. It's $25, and again, this could make an excellent coaster too if you don't like it, but you'll like it. If you like Tube Screamers at all,
right,
you'll like it. And again, in the episode we did, I only paid $50 for my original Tube Screamer. It was an extended family member. So I wasn't ready to jump off a cliff when we compared them and they were super close. Or you go watch JHS's video and he talks about how close they got it. To me, I'm like, whew, okay, that's great. I paid, $25 for this and $50 for the other one. But if you went the full boat and paid $500, $600, $700, $800 for the original 808, it'll be available in your estate, I'm sure, because you will be jumping off the nearest bridge. So we did that. It was kind of fun. It's going to cause the editor to have to do a lot of editing because we're just trying to figure out how to do that. But we wanted to do it, and we honestly didn't know because we had not plugged in the delay. I don't think I did. I might have plugged it in briefly. I got two. There was a digital and this one. So anyway, enough about the $25 pedals. Right. I guess kind of in related news to inexpensive stuff, the Harley Benton that we featured last week is now in the hands of Chris Delaporte at Woodshed.
Right.
And he's kind of giving it the look over like he did the Firefly. And maybe next week. We tried to get him tonight, but his band is opening for Molly Hatchet here locally, coming up this coming weekend.
So they wanted to
week of rehearsals,
they wanted to practice,
tighten it up a little bit. Although they're a super tight band, or Chris might have been on tonight, but maybe next week he'll kind of rate out the Harley Benton and kind of score it and talk about highs and lows like he did the Firefly.
If not next week, we can get him. We'll get him sometime.
Yeah.
We theoretically could do that just about any night because it would be.
We could.
It would be a half hour. For him to come over, turn the cameras on, and go through it.
I can't say hi to Chris in a half hour.
Yeah, well, I know.
So I can't be here. You and Chris will get it done in a half hour.
Thank you, Brian. I appreciate that. It's cool.
I don't know. What did he say? Oh, yeah. See, he just ratted you out. I didn't even know. I'm a horrible friend. I had a crazy weekend. My wife came back from Atlanta from work, and her plane got delayed, and I didn't go to bed until 2:30 Saturday night, Sunday morning. Had to be at church by 7:30. We're warming up. I thought someone said something about a birthday. I didn't register. We play our set. We grab our coffee. I'm sitting in the back of the room, and I bust my phone out, and Facebook tells me it's his birthday. And he's like 2 rows in front of me. I'm screenshotted, happy birthday. So, yeah. And then I had to look up clever names for a beard, and was a facial foliage is where I landed.
I think so.
I don't know that he totally liked it, but I thought that was really clever. He sent me a little meme that said, "Say it with me, beard."
That was funny.
So yeah, birthday. I don't even want to talk about how old you aren't, because I thought I heard you tell somebody the age, and I'm like, good Lord. Good Lord, in the words of Chris Rock, good Lord, I'm old.
Yeah.
What does it rhyme with?
I'm just a young guy.
The first number rhymes with birdie, right?
I'm 46.
Okay, I thought you told somebody you were 36, and I was like,
36?
Did you go back in a time machine? Like, see, I knew I could get it out of him.
36.
I thought you said that to somebody. I'm like, wait, I didn't know that. I'm like, what?
36. Dang, he looks old for his age. I'm looking good at 46.
That's like, we'll see. It helps.
46, I may be looking good. At 36, I'll be looking a little rough.
So yeah, we did that episode tonight with those 2 pedals. Those 4 pedals, actually.
So I think that covers it. Brian, you weren't around. If you're still out there, you weren't around when we talked about getting the new stuff in. So this week's things were the Rocktory from New X, and then they sent us a little bonus mini studio, which is like a cab sim and IR loader, which is interesting, which we have no idea what that does, but we'll figure it out. So that was that. There's while you were talking earlier, I got an update that the Pigtronics is going to be shipping out. And it says it says expected delivery is 11/25, and I was mentally, the day is the 18th.
Yeah.
So 7 days?
We'll probably get the pedals from Germany before those come out.
They have Fred Flintstone run it up here? When has it ever taken 7 days to ship anything in the U.S. anywhere now?
Amazon.
Darn it, I want it in 2 days or less.
Amazon has ruined everyone. Yeah.
We're so... Look, I'm excited. I'm more excited about the free 1970s tube amp than the IR loader. I know what this does. Look.
Knobs turn.
One switch.
And they're cool, too, because they have the Fender logo on the end of the knob.
One switch.
Very cool.
One switch is all it takes.
I don't know, Brian. I guess I'm reading because the comment says, because sometimes people watch this back then, the comments. He has to confess something. He spent the whole day editing the Tone Studio for his Katana. However, I think once you put that work in, it's there, right? It's there. You've saved it. You put it where you want it. You can recall it. So at least it's not totally in vain. Because sometimes you go with an amp and you're twisting knobs and you love it, and then the next week you come in, you don't love it, or some kid turns the knob on your amp. You're like, where was I again?
You still have different room, different sound, right?
I guess.
I mean, even with digital. Although some of the people that look at, do like the Kempers and stuff say that it sounds the same no matter what room you're in. Which I mean, how can that be?
I have no idea.
I don't know. I guess in the headphones it sounds the same every time.
Okay. Jason was talking earlier. What makes a great blues jam amp for him is everything turned the whole way up.
If you dime all the knobs on a tube,
He spent 5 seconds correcting the modeling on this.
Yeah, that's about what it comes down to.
So yeah, our big conversation tonight. That like, if you watch this from the beginning, go back and watch it. It was me at the beginning plugging something in because again, we had a long time to kill, and we got into discussion about that Leslie Sound series and a couple other things. And before we know it, he's opening up the computer. So I'm about to push the button going live, and wait, I'm plugging in the chorus pedal that we weren't planning on talking about. You gotta wait a second. So yeah, the Leslie series, like, it's. I'm still just stunned. It's unbelievable. We got 5 free pedals and 1 at a
6.
significant discount from a major manufacturer.
Well, if you would add up, there's 5 free pedals.
Right.
There is 3 pedals at significant discounts.
Okay.
But there's 6 companies.
And you owned a couple, and then you knew which ones you wanted to get. And I'd say that any of the ones you purchased outside of what you had and what was provided for us found at a really good price.
Right.
Or you wouldn't have bought it.
Right. It's like the Pigtronics one that I've been looking for. I was going to bid on it last night, and I missed it by a minute. My niece started texting me happy birthday, and by the time I got done texting her, the auction was over by a minute.
But didn't you say it had jumped up? Was that the one
No.
you texted me? That was a different one?
It was over by a minute, so I texted the guy. He didn't sell it. So I texted him and offered him $30 less than his lowest price, and he sold it to me for that.
And now you just got him kicked off eBay.
Right, so, I mean, that's, yeah.
I hate that I like it, Brian. I hate that I like this katana, but for $230 you really need one.
One of my students said to me today, he came in, he showed me a picture of his new guitar. He bought this, like, Jackson Flying V thing. It's pretty cool. It's like a white, like, you know.
Yeah, I think you told me what it was.
Yeah, it's like a Jackson V. And then he bought a Boss katana to go with it. And I was like, dude, that's, yeah. I mean, can you imagine when you were first starting to play to have an amp like that? I remember, like, having an old PV amp for a while that, like, had 2 knobs on it.
I had a solid state.
It was like Sucker Sucks More.
Yeah.
That was all it was.
Where's the Please Don't Suck Now? But one of my first multi-effects things is I bought a Rockman, an XL100 Rockman. That, you know, that was like, and then plugged it into an amp. That was my original modeling amp that had. I have it somewhere.
In my college apartment, I remember there was a Gorilla amp for a while. One of my roommates had the Gorilla amp, like the little tiny amp with the grill on it. So, Ryan's saying the katana has a great Leslie sound. I wonder if Boss would send us one over here to feature.
It's cheaper than some of the pedals that have been sent to us. Brian, play a little clip and send it to us on Messenger.
That'd be cool. So, what time is it?
I don't know.
It's 10. It's 10:09. We probably are gonna get out a little early tonight. It seems a little light in here. I know there's other people doing shows. So Hack's doing a show tonight. He doesn't normally do Monday nights,
This
but
guy. I wore the shirt to just let him know that I'm supporting him, and he's not here.
So we could probably play out, and then
And if anybody new shows up, we'll recap the entire show.
No.
No.
I don't think so. I'm just looking to see.
Brody had chimed in earlier. I don't know if he had to step away, but he said he was at the Honda dealership buying a car for his daughter. So say a prayer for that that salesperson, because Brody is the most shrewd negotiator I've ever met.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hack has, I was in one of his other chats earlier this week. he has something that he has to do Thursday, so he's not doing his Thursday trap. So it's probably why he's going live tonight. So I don't mind bailing out a little bit early and letting Brian jump over and check out, letting the one guy that showed up. Because
well, that, and he can take a few minutes and send that email off to boss about sending us a
right. So do you wanna jam on it?
Sure.
Before we go?
Yeah.
Dan's one string thing that he did on their YouTube channel. I really hate to admit it, but the thing that Dan from that pedal show did on the one string scale blew my mind. I mean, it's something that you knew, but the way he presented it blew my mind. So if you haven't seen that, check that out.
Yeah, I'd have to go back and watch it too. I was trying to do it on the E string.
I'm not sure tonight. There's a whole lot of people to tell to describe, but if you're watching the rerun of this, we'd love for you to subscribe. And with that, I think I'm going to turn it over to you and let you take it out.
I'm playing out. Let's see. Super Chorusy.